Hi, guys. Welcome to season 3 of Fashionably Pernia. I am super excited today because we're starting off with something that I've been wanting to do for a while with Sarah Sham. She's extremely popular on Instagram. That's how I think I found you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because you do so well with, I think,
Thank
your
you.
content. Can I say you do interiors, architecture, furniture?
Absolutely.
Everything to do with like spaces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And we'll get into the whole legacy of it. Yeah, so thank you for being here. I'm super excited for this.
My pleasure. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to doing this too. I love what you guys do on this podcast, so I'm excited to be a part of it.
Because this podcast is about lifestyle and luxury, and
Yeah.
there's no bigger luxury than your house and the space you work in, because you end up spending so much time there, right?
Yes, I agree.
So we were just chatting a little bit. This is a family business of sorts.
So we
How
have
did-
we have a family legacy. My great grandfather, his name was Abdul Qadir Isaji Sham. He comes from a city in Syria called Sham.
He comes from Syria.
He comes from Syria,
Okay.
yes. So he came from Syria and landed in Gujarat with a bunch of Muslim missionaries. And then they were all converted to Bori, the religion which is where my family comes from. And my great grandfather passed on the business to my grandfather, passed it on to my father, which was all art, antiques, furniture, tapestries, carpets. So some of the world's best furniture pieces, Indian origin, continue to have gone through the hands of my great grandfather, my grandfather, and my dad as well. And in my generation, it's my sister and myself. So the business was always called Abdul Qadir Isaji and Son, or AK Isaji and Sons, then when my dad came about.
Yeah.
And then we were only two daughters. Unfortunately for many, they thought that the business was not going to see the next generation because there were only two girls in our generation. So I went to Duke University for my undergrad, Oxford University, came back and worked with my dad for some years, at which point I said, there are no sons. There is no
Yeah.
and sons. You
Yeah.
drop this sons. We changed it to Isaji's, and it was through that I decided I wanted to do interior design, like the entire process, not just the furniture and the execution
So
part.
the legacy family legacy store, Isaji's,
Yeah.
is how old and where is it?
The legacy is 130 years old. It's in Colaba. It's behind the Taj. And it's been in that location for a long time. At least I think 40, 50 years it's been in that location. Yeah. Yeah. And
That's
it's still
amazing.
around. It's beautiful. My dad is super active. He loves when people come by and say hi to him. So
Yeah.
if anyone does,
I
that
need
would
to
be
go
great.
by.
Yeah. He has
I
amazing
love old
stuff.
things. I love
Yeah.
vintage. I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm sure I'll enjoy the shop a lot.
So we grew up, it was amazing because I lived with my grandfather and he taught us the value of everything, like what is the correct proportion. This is an Indus Valley civilization, or this is post, or this is how a facet is supposed to look. Everything was explained to us in such great depth and detail that design is fully like in my blood.
And he
Like,
gave
very
you an
safe.
appreciation for
Absolutely.
art and for the fine things. And,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
at a young age you get
Very
that
young.
knowledge.
So actually, when
Yeah.
I was young, I didn't appreciate it. Like every time I came to the store, he used to make me sit for half an hour and show me,
Yeah.
his most prized things. And when I was a kid, I used to find it very irritating because I was like, God, here he goes again, I don't want to hear this long story. And I just
Yeah.
used to like roll my eyes and
Yeah,
nod.
yeah.
But he was so sweet. Like he insisted on doing it. And then after all those years, I realized, like, listen, a lot of it actually did get absorbed. As much as
Yeah.
I may have been resistant
Yeah.
and been like, oh, I don't want to hear all this
Yeah.
stuff. And I actually didn't want to be in the family business. I felt like it was too much pressure. I ran away from it most of my life. I was not interested at all. I wanted to do anything but that.
Then what changed your mind? Like, what did you study at Duke?
I did the history of art was my major, and that also came to me by mistake. I tried everything else. I tried, journalism and science and economics, and I liked all of it. And then I had to declare my major because I was like, I think the last person in my entire year who had not declared her major.
Yeah.
And then I finally did an art history course because you have to, take certain courses when you're doing a liberal arts education. And I just absolutely fell in love. Like I was obsessed with art. Art continues to be my truest and deepest love.
Yeah.
So I collect art like a psychopath. I'm not interested in fashion. I know this is fashionably Pernia.
Yeah.
But like clothes and bags don't do anything for me. It's art. Like I would spend all my money on art. I want to leave like the most ridiculous art collection for both my kids.
What are some of the artists you've invested in recently?
Most recent, like as of this week, I bought a Bhowal Prasad, which is hanging there in my office. And Sam Kolavur is the one I bought before this. I've also, I think like we go shopping with our clients all the time
Right.
for
So you're
art.
exposed to it all the
Exposed to it.
time.
And I used to work as an art consultant.
And you help your clients with the art they
We
buy as
love
well.
helping our clients.
Yeah.
So you know, it's all magically come together for us
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
design studio because we get a chance to integrate art into our design spaces also.
Exactly.
And it's always such a fun conversation to say like, why don't you do this? And the clients are always like, oh my God, I didn't know you knew so much about art. And yeah, I love it.
Where do most of your clients find you? So now she does interiors, mainly
I do
interiors. I think that would
yes.
be the focus of what you do
Absolutely.
now.
We're an interior design
Do they
studio.
find you on social media? Like I said,
Yeah.
her social media is very good.
Yeah.
Or do they find you through word of mouth? Like how do they find you?
I know it seems like there's so much happening on our social media, and yes, that is a great discovery platform. But if you're spending, I don't know, 20 crores on your interiors, you're not gonna scroll on Instagram and say, oh, here, let me put all my money down on this girl, right?
Yeah.
It has to come through a known reference. And that's the only way that you'll be able to close the deal. Word of mouth continues to be a very strong avenue for us. And we've also built our business a bit differently. So we work on a zero commission model. And that's helped clients recommend us.
So it's like a flat fee.
It's a flat
And then
fee.
everything is on actuals.
Everything is on actuals. We've costed for what my time is worth. And, you know, if it extends beyond that, we just go into a retainer. So it's a
Right.
very clean and clear model.
Yeah.
And then every single thing, like we bargain like crazy with everyone. We make sure that the right prices are given. We make sure our clients are not getting ripped off anywhere.
Wow.
So clients literally swear by us. And we've even had scenarios where their friends have hired another designer. As soon as they found out, they said, absolutely not. You will only hire Sarah for the job. So our word of mouth continues to be the best way for us.
I think goodwill works in every industry, huh? Like
Yeah, I
really.
think in luxury, Panya,
Especially.
it's only that, right? Because no matter what you may spend on marketing and you know, brand building and all of that, at the end of the day, it is a recommendation of someone you know, where you can see the product, you know what the experience has been like. That's all that really matters, right?
So primarily the clients are in these beautiful flats in Bombay. They give you these spaces.
No, we actually do leased work in Bombay.
So where do you do most of your work?
Calcutta and Hyderabad are two huge hubs for us because Hyderabad is booming.
It's booming, yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I'm sure you know.
Yeah, yeah, because in
And
fashion too, yeah.
In fashion
Yeah.
too. And Calcutta, we just love Calcutta. We're obsessed with Calcutta.
Really?
It is the best market. Like anyone who's not doing work in Calcutta, like you are missing out. I think it has a perception of maybe being a city where not a lot of busy things happen and
Yeah.
maybe people perceive it as a quieter or a more relaxed pace of life. But people in Calcutta understand luxury better than any other city in India, including Bombay and Delhi. Because especially in the home sector. So if there's like, say, for example, a wood flooring, okay?
Yeah.
That's some crazy, expensive, ridiculous wood flooring with the finest quality of wood and, you know, whatever. I'll tell my Bombay and my Delhi and my other clients, some of them will get it, some won't. If I tell my Calcutta clients, 10 out of 10 will be like, done.
Really?
They understand luxury so well. They know how to spend their money. They want to live well in their homes. They will never hesitate. So we love,
They're probably
absolutely
just
love.
particular on what they spend on, but they have the knowledge.
They're not particular. I mean,
They're-
they are.
yeah.
I mean, it's not that they would just spend on
Yeah.
anything, but
They have the knowledge of what.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think because there's so much craftsmanship in West Bengal.
Yes.
And karigari and craftsmanship is so deeply ingrained in their, just in the root of who they are, that they will never hesitate. If you say that this is done in XYZ technique, done. What's the price? Doesn't matter. I'll pay.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah, yeah.
How long have you been doing interiors for?
16 years in working
So
and
in
10
the
years
last
on my own.
10 years, have you seen people are spending a lot more, or in the last
Yes.
5 years, on their homes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I see
Yeah.
also, I see people are, like people have better houses.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
like it's not like when we were growing up, we didn't go to people's houses who had the means,
Yeah.
but they didn't seem to, a lot of people didn't seem to care as much. Now I think everybody really, really wants a beautiful home. So they're spending a lot more now?
They're spending a lot more now, and it's not in the tier 1 cities. It's actually the tier 2 cities because there's a lot more awareness and growth happening there.
Yeah.
But I think everyone has understood that you have to have a good designer on board. You have to spend to live well, and living well doesn't just mean having an Hermes bag and, you know, wearing some Louis Vuitton jacket. It means living well.
The quality of your daily life should be
Yes,
enhanced,
yes.
right?
Like
Yeah.
a good mattress, a nice bathroom fittings, an AC that cools to the perfect temperature,
Yeah.
windows that slide open and close without the slightest sound. And I think COVID has been one of the most positive things for us because what happened is that typically in Indian family setups, men have control over the money.
Right.
But women are the decision makers, okay? So in the past, in pre-COVID eras, we would say the women of the house were always saying, listen, I need to change the kitchen or I need to change the bathroom. And they would be met with a lot of resistance from the husbands who control the money,
Yeah.
saying, no, it's not required. It's fine. Why do you want to spend 20 lakhs on this or
Yeah,
leave it?
yeah.
But after they've all lived in the houses and been cooped up for
They
that 2 years,
realized,
then they
yeah.
realized. And now we're seeing a reverse where we're seeing the women being like, we're okay with anything, but we're seeing the men saying, no. Take it, buy it, whatever you have to do, please put the money down. And
A
we're
lot
seeing,
of them have home offices now.
yeah, no, it's
You
all,
know what I mean? They all have home offices.
We have
Since
nothing.
COVID, this is the biggest change I've seen in homes.
Yeah.
Every home has a home office, which never was the case before.
Yeah, never was the case. And also every holiday home is now being built out with full capacity to turn into a primary home, because tomorrow, if God forbid, you have to be locked
You're
up
stuck
there, you're
somewhere,
stuck
yeah.
there. We're building enough wardrobe space, all your creature comforts, a gen set, backup, UPS systems and whatnot, so that you have uninterrupted power supply and uninterrupted internet. So if you want to hole up there for 1 full year, you're fine. If not, it remains a holiday
thinking
home.
of all of this now when making
Yes,
homes,
yes.
of like backup plans in case there's another,
Yes.
whatever, God forbid, another issue.
Yeah, that's why this entire sector has seen such an upswing, is because people also realize that a lot of stuff can happen digitally. Okay, so pre-COVID, if I told a client in Calcutta or Hyderabad, like, listen, let's do a Zoom call and I'll run you through it, they'll say, absolutely not, you come and fly down.
Yeah.
But because, again, everyone was stuck at home and they realized, listen, we got quite a bit of stuff done in these
It's
2
just
years.
so much more convenient.
It's convenient.
And you save so much time.
Even in an industry which is so touch and feel, like your home, we're managing to pull off a lot of stuff. Which
Online?
I mean, we still have to do a lot in person.
At least all the planning and the meetings and the initial things you can do online.
Absolutely. And people are much more open-minded.
Okay, so we're in Sarah's beautiful studio. This is new, right?
Yes, it's new.
Okay, it's beautiful, high ceilings, it's huge.
Yes.
How big is your team? This is huge. This is huge.
So the goal when we moved into this office, we moved in about 4 months ago. And the goal was to outgrow this like this.
Really?
Yeah. So I put a ton of money into this. This place was a hellhole. Like, there was literally not even an electrical cable I could use from this place.
Now.
Yeah. We've redone everything. And the goal was that I want to get in here and grow so fast that we are going to be like, this office is totally useless.
Okay,
that was the
inshallah,
goal.
that's amazing.
Inshallah. And I think we're getting there. So I think we're above 40 now, 40 of us. And then it's growing. And we
40 of you here in this office. And how many clients do you have at one time?
We currently have between 40 to 45 projects going on. We have close to 400,000 square feet of spaces that we're doing, across, I think, 14, 15 different cities. And we also have our Dubai company.
I was going to say, now you've started a company in Dubai. And I was seeing on Instagram, you do like, the Dubai company is called?
Gia.
Gia.
Yeah.
And with Gia, you're doing a lot of these villas in Jumeirah.
Yes.
And then you have 2 kids also.
I have 2 small kids, yes. A 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, yeah.
How is this all happening? This is crazy. I mean, it's amazing.
Thank you.
But it's, I'm overwhelmed on your behalf. How is it happening?
So first, I just want to say that I prayed every day that I would have a successful business, that I would have these 2 beautiful kids, a happy marriage, a good home.
Mashallah,
and now I have it. So under no circumstances am I going to be like, oh my God, it's like so difficult, like I'm dying. I love it.
This is what you wanted.
This is what I wanted. And now that I have it, under no circumstances am I going to be complaining about it. Yes, there are times where it feels like there's a lot going on, but I'm very good at delegation and I don't micromanage at all. So my house is run like a business, okay? My husband runs the house. I'm unable to because I have too much other stuff going on. So he does the groceries, he does the, the checking of the bills with the maids, and he buys everything and sets the house up. And I take on extra duties with the kids because he works about an hour away. It takes an hour to come and go, and I work close to the home. So I am able to wrap up my day at 5 and have those 2 hours with the kids. So I jump in.
I think it's just a really good partnership.
It's a full partnership. And you have to credit my mother and mother-in-law who have suspended their entire lives to be raising my kids on my behalf.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, and my 2 nannies without whom none of this would happen.
Exactly, because I mean, with all this, you look very well rested and you have great skin too. It's one thing someone's doing a lot and you can see it on their face. You can see it on their face that this woman is doing a lot. But the great skin, looking well rested. No, I'm so happy for you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Because not a lot of women get this.
Yeah, I
this
love
kind of
it.
support and this kind
Yeah.
of like ecosystem to be
Yeah.
able to like really thrive.
I agree.
And so I'm so happy for you. That's amazing.
I credit my husband for this a lot,
Yeah.
but it's actually like his mom and his grandmother who deserve the credit.
I mean, they raised him a certain way.
They both were
clearly.
working.
Yeah, and he
So
saw that.
He saw
And
that.
he respects that.
He respects that. And it's normal.
Yeah.
So anything that I'm doing, like I went back to work after I had my first kid, like after 3 days.
Yeah.
My mother had like a literal panic attack, being like, what is wrong with
Yeah.
you? You cannot do this. You just had a child.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, but I have my business and I would like to get back and it's okay. It's not a big
Yeah.
deal for me. My husband didn't blink twice. So my mother called my mother-in-law saying, tell your daughter-in-law something, look what she's doing. And my mother-in-law put her hands up and says, if she's fine, I'm fine. I have no
Yeah.
problems with this.
Yeah.
So it is truly like, because all the women are all working, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's why I always say like your biggest business decision is the person you marry, right? Because that impacts how you can grow in your business.
You're very right. Okay, how would you describe your style? I was like looking through your page and I was like, how would you
describe my style?
So it's definitely modern,
Okay.
clean and
Okay.
modern. Your palette is quite neutral. And I would say you always use some few accent colors. It'll be like a green headboard,
Okay.
randomly a blue couch. There will be like accents, but the whole house usually is in like a neutral palette. It's quite neat, clean design,
Yeah.
very modern. This is how I would describe your style, but I want to know how you would describe your style.
I don't think I have a style. I think
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
I
you
think
have a style.
I have a style.
You have
yeah.
a signature because I've
Okay.
seen lots of different people's houses,
And you
there is
can
a
see your
running there's a
comment.
running signature
Okay.
style. There is.
So we've made a very conscious effort to try and delete any aesthetic information from previous projects. And
Okay.
even if there's something we really like, maybe it's in the same design aesthetic, but that particular element we'll never repeat.
Okay.
Because we want
You
to
want
keep
people to have unique homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I had like 12 different jobs before I got into this one. So my attention span is a bit short.
Right.
I don't want to do homes that look repetitive. I will lose interest or
Hmm.
don't want to do spaces that I need something to look fresh and new for my own mental satisfaction.
Yeah.
And of course, it helps that the clients also get these beautiful, fresh looking spaces from it.
But
So,
don't
yeah.
some clients be like, I want a house exactly like so
Yeah,
and so?
yeah.
I love that person's
Yeah.
house. Please make me the same.
We
And what
say
do
we
you
can't do it. We're
Can't.
really sorry. Thank you so much. But then we are not the right designer. You can go to a contractor. You're most welcome. I'll send you all my project pictures. The contractor can copy it for you as it is.
You don't like doing
I'm
copy
not.
paste
No,
at
no,
all.
no. I can't do it.
What do you
Because,
do
it's not
when a
gratifying.
client's requests or aesthetic is very different from
We
yours?
don't take
You
that
can't
on.
offend them, obviously, being like, this is tacky. No, but like, what do you do?
We don't take them on. Like in the beginning only.
You,
like we
you,
obviously
you
align.
suss the situation,
suss
you
it
meet
out,
them,
yeah.
and then you decide whether this is going to align.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We have had some scenarios in which, like, we did one home which was very opulent, which was very removed from our aesthetic, but the clients were so lovely and so sweet and collaborative that we managed to find a middle ground. So that's also
What
one
if the
option.
project is really big and the money is really good?
No.
But this person is totally not aligning with you aesthetically.
No.
You still say no?
I'm not driven by money. Yes, I
Yeah.
want to
But
make.
sometimes, like if a
of
project
course.
is that big, it is tempting,
It
right?
is very
Yeah.
no. But you know what happens is that when it's not aligned, then I'll have 2 years of dealing with a client, and my team will have 2 years of dealing with a client where it's not aligned, and they will literally chew my brains every
It's
day.
not worth the stress.
Not whatever money you pay
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
I'm not dealing with that for 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I'll just walk away.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure for the client, it'll be frustrating because I will not be able to deliver.
It's frustrating for both sides.
Frustrating for
Yeah,
both. So then
yeah.
it's better to just
Yeah.
exit or not take that on. Yeah.
So you have a lot of celebrity clients. You have a lot of high-profile clients.
Yes.
You can't really talk about them.
No.
What we just spoke about off camera is that you had done Ishan's house.
Yes.
Ishan Khattar is an actor.
Yes.
And he has a little bachelor pad,
Yes.
which he featured already. It's already in the
Yes,
public
yes,
domain, so we
yes.
can talk about
Yes,
it. Yeah,
yes.
It's so cute, his house. I did
He
watch.
is so
I
cute.
watched that whole video, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. My guilty pleasure is watching people's interiors and homes on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You
and my
love it?
entire feed now, because I watch so much of this and all the 80 visits of every
okay.
celebrity possible, internationally, Indian. I like to see, I don't know, maybe I'm just really nosy. I want to see what everyone's house looks like. I don't know why.
Because I think you get to
You
know
know?
someone through their house. Like, you get to know the vibe of a person
Yeah.
through their house.
To be
right?
honest, I'm not so interested in the person. I just love getting ideas or seeing how what people have done.
Okay.
Some things are really interesting how people do
Very, I
things, right?
agree.
So did Ishan give you a brief? How did this work?
This happened because Meera, his sister-in-law, had seen our page, and
Yeah.
when Ishan was making his house, she said, "Listen, I have the perfect person for you. Why don't you get in touch with Sarah?"
Yeah.
And I was very hesitant because I think my only goal in life is to work with nice people.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't actually care celebrity or non-celebrity or what
Whatever,
the bank
yeah.
balance looks like. You have to be nice. You have to speak to me respectfully, and you know the
Yeah.
rest of it. And treat me as I am an equal. I don't want to be shouted at or treated poorly, or someone calls me in the
Is
middle
that
of the
even a
night.
thing?
Absolutely,
Sarah,
Purnia. I have been
no.
shouted at
Not
so
at
much.
your level. No.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I feel like,
I'm shocked.
the bigger the clients, the more the expectation that they can do whatever they feel like. They feel like I have paid her, so I own her. When I call, she better answer the phone. People have some weird perceptions. So I just want to make sure that I
This is crazy.
I
Yeah.
only associate with really nice people. Become very particular about that, like
Yeah.
psychotically particular. So Ishan spoke to me, and I was, hesitant only because I know from the entertainment industry, it's a lot of erratic schedules. People work at very odd hours. We have very fixed work hours. We work only like 9:30 to 5:30.
Right.
Even at 5:35, this office is like a ghost town. There's
Yeah.
no one here.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be pulled into something that I don't want. But I met Ishan, and he is just the sweetest, cutest, nicest person. He's very warm, very respectful, very good with everything, like whether it's decisions, payments, anything. Like, he was the opposite of what you associate with film stars. And thanks to my dad's business, we had already worked with the biggest names, and we'd had many mixed experiences. Obviously, I won't go down that rabbit hole. So there was a lot of hesitation and fear, being like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
But I think he opened up a lot of doors for me, in the sense of he made it clear that there are a lot of nice people out there also. And
Did he
he's-
have a vision, or did he
Yeah,
just
yeah,
follow
yeah.
your vision?
No, no, no,
Because a lot
he
of
had a
boys are like,
vision, yeah.
just
Yeah.
need a leather couch, like whatever.
I think he wanted like something artistic, okay? He
Okay.
has a mom who's very artistic and very creative. And she's, got this whole style going. So he wanted something like that. So I think we delivered that, but it was collaborative.
Yeah.
Having said that, he was very quick and decisive, and yeah, we had a blast with him. He's a sweetheart.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So, you guys, she does bachelor pads too. I don't think, looking at you, you would never think that,
Why?
No, I just think you just do like beautiful family homes. But clearly,
yeah.
Ishan has made it a thing
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Established that you do bachelor pads
Yeah,
as well.
we do everything. Like,
do everything.
we have a project that's in the pipeline, which hopefully will see the light of day soon, which is a closet.
Just a closet.
Yeah, but it's like a closet of the best collectible handbags, probably in India.
Ooh, tell me about this closet. No, 1 second. So,
It's
what are you
something that
doing
hasn't
with
come
this
through
closet?
yet. But no, it's a project that we've spoken about. It's not come through yet. But I'm just saying that we do all kinds of very conceptual things also, where like this, the early stage discussions is literally like a museum of bags. That's it.
Tell us this.
Yeah.
For the regular people who have nice bags, who want to build beautiful closets,
Yes.
what's the best way to keep them or have them in your closet?
Inbuilt dehumidifiers into the wardrobes is a must.
Dehumidifiers in Bombay especially. Because we
Yes.
keep, hanging those things to
Yes. No,
help
it
with the
doesn't.
moisture. It doesn't work.
No,
So-
you need something that's continuously recirculating the air.
Good idea.
Because the leather starts disintegrating,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah. Hmm,
gets fungusy over time. And obviously, you can't keep it in the dust bag. It's ugly.
No, you want to see it also. You
Yeah.
forget in the
You
dust
forget,
bag
you forget,
what's there.
You forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, one aspect is mapping the space out so that you
Yeah.
can see
You can
everything.
see
and
everything.
the other aspect is making sure that the temperature and the atmosphere is conducive to make these items last longer.
If a closet has natural light,
Yeah.
and if like sun is coming into the closet, does that damage the clothes and the bags or
Yes.
the leather? It does. It does,
Always.
right?
If it's direct sunlight, any fabric will fray over
So
time.
we should ideally, if it's a walk-in closet, you should not have natural light.
You can have natural light coming through, but the sun rays, so it can't be like an east-west orientation for the windows, where if it's north-south, it's fine because
Yeah.
you'll get indirect light rays.
Can't be direct light.
Yeah, if you get those direct rays of the sun, especially when those sun rays are very strong in the summer. So in Dubai, for example, when we do projects, the curtains need to get replaced so often. The sun is so strong
Yeah.
that first of all, the color goes, And even the hardiest linens and whatnot have all just gone limp.
You have to keep all these things in mind, right? Like
Yes,
depending
you
on
do.
like the climate
Yes,
and everything.
yes,
I mean, that's
yes.
probably the huge part of what you do.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let's help people out, okay, who
Okay.
can't afford you. Because there are a lot of people who watch this show who can 100% afford you. And then there are a lot of
Call
people
me.
lot of people who are aspirational.
Yes.
Who, inshallah, one day will afford you.
Absolutely,
But
yes.
for now, what are like 5 tips that everybody can use for their homes just to make their homes look better, function better?
Yeah.
Maybe something nice for entertaining, for preservation. Like
Yeah.
we spoke about, preserving your closet, don't have direct sunlight.
One tip is always plants for me, okay?
Plants.
And not fake
Aren't they
plants.
high maintenance? Like
They are. But we all live in polluted cities, okay? All the top cities of India are polluted. And there's
Yeah.
a thumb rule that 3 plants, even a medium or a small plant, purify fully 100 square feet of space.
Oh.
Yes, and there's a perception that it lets out carbon dioxide in the night, so you shouldn't sleep with it in your room and all that. It's not going to be harmful for you. So put lots of plants in your space. Otherwise, how many Dyson air purifiers are you going to put
Seriously.
in your house at every
Yeah.
location? And it also adds to the aesthetic value of the house.
I have a
Plants,
question.
yeah.
What are the best indoor plants?
A ZZ plant, a rubber plant is lovely. I love pothos. Like we have like a really beautiful money plant. It's pothos. Syngoniums are beautiful. I love my plants. I have like 100 plants in my
Yeah.
house, so I could do this forever. Yeah, peace lily is another good one. There's lots of good ones. Peace lily is actually very nice because it gives out a lot of oxygen. Then the other one is I think wallpapers are very easy because especially if you're living in a rental or living somewhere where you don't want to really break the bank, you can just stick on a wallpaper. It takes 2 hours to stick it on. At least there's something fun and fresh that happens in the space.
But do wallpapers, especially if they have a print on them,
Yeah.
do they make your room look smaller?
No, not
Is that a myth?
necessarily. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So even people feel like if you paint everything white, it's bigger. If you paint everything black, it's smaller. I don't believe in that.
Okay.
I feel like if you paint everything black, and we've seen this, and you add mirrors, sometimes it feels infinite, the space.
Okay.
Because the blackness makes it feel like, oh, the space is just going and going and going.
Yeah.
Right? So this dark colors making the space look smaller it's a
These are
very
all myths.
irritating thought
Yeah.
process, and
Yeah.
people are fixated on it. And there's so many influencers and deco people out there who keep reinforcing this thing.
Yeah.
The third I would say is like there's a lack of individuality we see in spaces because people are trying to follow rules or tips, much like the ones I'm
No,
giving.
they go to
you know.
Pinterest
They go
and
to
they just like take a
Pinterest,
whole
yeah.
room and they're like, I want to just replicate this
Yeah.
into my space.
But
Yeah.
I feel like there's like a death of individualism, which I'm sure in the fashion world
It's everywhere.
You are also seeing.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
in architecture,
yeah.
it's in interiors, it's in fashion, it's in decor, where everything is trying to become this very uniform model, which is very boring. Like that's not how we should live. So do something weird in your house. Like I got a DM from someone saying, for my dining chairs, I wanted 3 plain and 3 printed. I'm like, do it. Who cares? It's your house. Like,
Yeah.
why do you care what
Yeah.
anyone else thinks? You are
Yeah.
happy, you should do it.
Yeah.
Another tip I think is very helpful is people take very wrong sized things. So they'll take like a very small rug.
Proportions.
Proportions.
So pay
Yeah.
attention to proportions.
Pay attention to proportions. And finally, I think like decorative lights play a huge part, or lighting plays a huge part. I also see people doing a lot of white light in houses. My God, it's
Big no-no.
atrocious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even with our clients who insist on white light, we will make them buy a tunable light. We'll keep it on yellow for all the times we're there. When we're not there, you can do what you like. This is
Why
an
do
absolute
clients
no.
insist on white light?
They feel like-
Why do they want to feel like they're in a hospital?
Historically, we've all grown up with tube lights in our homes.
Yes.
Okay. Like that is for many years in the 70s, 80s, 90s. People had tube lights. Even in a living room, there were these long tube lighty kind of things. Yellow light was associated with something that was only in a restaurant or a hotel or something that was very dimly lit. So over so many years, if your eyes have gotten used to that ridiculously bright light, then the yellow light
They
is
feel
never
like it's
gonna-
not bright enough.
It's not bright enough.
They
yeah.
can't see.
They can't see. So we accept in kitchens and bathrooms to a certain extent because you're doing a task like in the bathroom. If
Yeah.
you want to, pluck your
Exactly,
eyebrows,
yeah,
then
yeah.
you can't have dim light. That's
Yeah.
stupid. Or in a kitchen, you're chopping vegetables. I get it. It's a task.
Yeah.
But then in the living room, what task are you doing? Watching
Yeah.
TV is not a task.
Yeah.
Or talking to your friends is not a task.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've won this battle for the most part.
Yeah.
But we still have to fight it every day.
Yeah. Is there anybody's home you've seen and you're like, and that you haven't done?
Yeah.
That you're like, oh, that's a beautiful house.
We see it all the time. So
Whose home do you love?
my obsession in life is Rajiv Saini. Okay, I love his design. Okay,
Oh, I have to check him out.
He does interiors. He probably will run very far away from me if I see him now at an event because everyone knows like I'm just obsessed with his
Oh, I need to check him
aesthetic.
out.
Yeah. And he's got this very quiet luxury aesthetic, which is so beautiful. Like, and he's really just a legend. So any space that he's done, and I think he done Mr. Tata's home
Okay.
as well. And it's so subtle, though I don't know because it just says JRD Home Kolaba.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming that that is his home. So beautiful. Like, I wish I had done something that subtle and that elegant. Like, maybe one day I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I see his spaces all the time and I definitely feel like that.
I love like Kendall Jenner's home.
Really?
I know. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't even know why I'm saying this on camera, but like on AD.
I saw
And then
that.
she did an
yeah.
updated version because she
Okay.
changed some of her
Ah,
furniture.
okay.
I know when people change their furniture, it's weird. Okay, but anyway, so she did an
I saw that
update.
Christmas one.
So that was an update
Ah.
because she had changed the couch in front of her kitchen. It
Oh,
was
wow.
different earlier.
Wow. Okay.
But like, I just thought, well, maybe not 100% of it, but like 80% of it, I was like, I could just move in
Okay.
with my baby and I'd be
Okay.
very happy in this home. Because I felt like it was
feels
modern but
homely.
girly, but it was just so pretty and cute, you know?
Yeah.
I really haven't felt that about anybody else's home, except for I love my own home.
You
but
love your own home.
But
Okay.
I think hers I really did like.
I think for us, we get
Yeah.
inundated with so much information with design. Like for you, it could be a joy because it's a different industry for
Yeah,
you.
maybe that's why. Yeah.
So
I'm not
for-
thinking about it all day.
You're not
nah?
thinking about
so
it
when
all
I
day.
relax, I like to see it.
So for us, like every single day, our eyes are blasted with just designs. So palette cleanser for me is actually like food. I'm obsessed with food.
Ah.
I'm obsessed with cooking. I watch only shows about food and cooking and
Yeah,
things
yeah.
because like that's my escape into another world. And that's probably why I have a problem with every design, including my own. Because I'm like, acha, I should have done like, after 3 months, you get irritated with it. And you're like, oh, I should have done this differently. I could have done this better. Why did I do this like this? Or actually, in the moment, I thought I liked this couch. So you're
But you evolve also, no? Like
You
your
evolve,
tastes evolve,
yeah.
you know more, then you think you could do it better. And I mean, that's
But that evolution is so quick because of the amount of information I'm being fed every
Yeah,
day
yeah.
for design. And there's so much exposure again
Yeah.
through travel and meeting new clients
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and going to new places. And of course, Pinterest and Instagram and YouTube and all of those avenues.
digitally, you're just
Digitally,
being, like, fed so much.
You're inundated from every
Yeah,
angle,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then there's the TV shows, the Selling Sunset, Selling Overseas,
I
Selling
love
the
watching
City.
Selling Sunset for the
Yeah.
houses. I want
Yeah.
to see like these crazy houses that
Yeah.
are priced at some ridiculous prices.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
these women selling them in like 20-inch stilettos.
Yeah.
It's just
So
it's
we have so
it's
many-
a full
yeah.
guilty pleasure. I love
Yeah,
it.
even I love
Yeah.
Selling Sunset.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah,
like the show
exactly.
makes no sense.
I love it.
But I do love it.
Yeah.
I also I think I like the scale of the properties, but
Yeah.
the interiors are actually super basic. Like,
Yeah. It's
and
the property which is
the
cool.
property
Yeah.
is cool. And I feel like that's why in India we're so blessed because, in Selling Sunset, for example, they'd be like, oh, it's got a Calcutta marble and all. And we're like, this is like a kachra marble. We use this marble in our toilets. We don't use this like
So the
this in a
resources
kitchen.
here are so good
So
for the
good.
home,
We
right?
have such amazing
Yeah.
materials that we use in our
Exactly,
spaces.
exactly.
And I feel like even something like a granite countertop, for us, we literally use granite everywhere. It's here.
And in the West, it's like luxury.
Absolutely,
like so luxurious.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
that's what I love about us as an Indian consumer base is that our standards of luxury are
Very
actually way higher.
Yeah.
I like these shows only because I feel superior in a way.
much better
I feel
about
so
what
much
we
better,
are.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm like, acha, in India, like, we have so many better materials. Or
Yeah.
like, that marble, like, I could do so much better than that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like that. And of course, it's like highly entertaining. I do love
it
that.
is. What's a big no-no? Do
In
not
design?
do this. Do yourself a favor
Yeah.
in design and don't do this in your house.
Copying.
But that too,
Everyone does. I know.
Yeah.
I get that, maybe you like something and you want to do exactly that. And I respect that to a certain extent. But also, like, there's just so much stuff that you can creatively do. The second thing that's an absolute no-no is like no art. I think a lot of clients that we have, they don't understand art. And so they refuse or they have a lot of resistance to buying lots of art and putting it in their house. For us, it feels like cake without the icing.
It's
just-
incomplete.
it's incomplete, that soul is missing without the art,
What does
according
someone
to
do,
me.
Sarah, if they can't afford art?
That's where it always goes down because people feel like I'm done, my budget is finished, my
Yeah.
mental bandwidth is finished,
Yeah.
I don't want to buy the art, so leave this topic for
Yeah.
now. But we actually budget for it in the beginning so that when you reach
Because
that
it's that
point,
important.
when you're in that fatigue state, I could say, okay, you have allocated 2 lakhs for art, we will spend the 2
Yeah.
lakhs, you know. So mentally, they don't feel overburdened and pressure that, oh, now it's on top of what I've already spent. We've already accounted for that somewhere. And the third is, I think people really miss out on utility area planning. So,
Utility area, like for the washing.
oh God, it's so
the
bad.
washing,
Yeah.
drying, all that.
Panya, I've seen the best homes, 8,000 and 10,000 square feet, where clothes are getting dried in the guest room.
I have been guilty, but that's because I was living in a very small space.
Yeah.
But yeah.
People don't put a space to store their ladder. The ladder is always, you know,
Lying
around somewhere or folded in the middle of the kitchen
Or
against
for
some
staff
wall.
members to sleep. You see, like
Oh my
the
God,
most
yeah.
wealthy people, and I don't know
Yeah.
why a staff member is sleeping on the floor because
In the kitchen,
that's
I
just
agree.
weird. If you
Weird.
have the luxury to make a big house, you have to account for that.
So
you
we
know?
tell our clients this
Yeah.
all the time that listen, as you are upgrading your lifestyle, these are the people that run your house. This is the whole and soul. For me, we literally don't look left or right without making sure that everyone who lives in our house is well taken care of. So if you are upgrading your life, they also need to come in that
Everybody,
upgraded
yeah,
space.
yeah.
Everyone who is living in the house, every member of this household has to have. But a lot of people are not agreeable. They feel like, no, I'd rather have the extra guest room or I'd rather have a bigger kitchen. So we do argue with those scenarios and make sure that that gets built in.
Is there a point of inspiration, a
We
particular
get it from our
place?
client because my job also entails me meeting so many people every day. I joke that I'm like half a detective now at some point. I read lots of books on body language. What I feel like their house is going to be like, that's what we use as a
They
starting
inspire
point.
you.
They inspire
That's
us.
nice.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, Panya, it's their house. It's not my house. So I don't want my energy in the house. It has to be their energy in the house and the
Yeah,
space. So
exactly.
it's not supposed to be an Isa G's Atelier house or a Sara Sham house. That would be a failure on my part. And growing up, we did see a lot of designers who had a very set aesthetic, and every house was like a replica of the other.
Yeah.
So I want to be against that. Like I'm the antithesis of that, where I want each house to be true to the client. Someone should walk in, and the best compliments we've gotten is people have walked in and told the clients, "Oh my God, this house is so you."
Yeah. Do you have a plan for Isa G's Atelier?
World domination is my plan.
You want to do projects all over the world?
I want to do the best work all over the world.
Amazing.
Volume is not the goal. Quality is the goal, but the best. Like I only want to be doing the absolute best. We've already expanded out significantly. We have a project in Austin, Texas. We're doing one in Ghana. We have two in Congo, of course, all across India and the Middle East. I want to continue to expand out because I feel like the way that we run our processes and we do our design is unique. Yeah, I'm young, I'm hungry. My plate still has lots of spots that I'm very happy to fill. The Middle East business, I think, is going to be amazing because in Dubai, people have a very different approach to design. They do like design separate and contracting separately. And here we do the entire process
Together,
end to end.
yeah.
Like we handhold you from start to finish of the
Yeah.
project. So we're hoping to replicate that model. But having said that, Panya, the goal is also to nurture my team, to grow my team, to make sure this is the happiest place for people to work at. That it's not just like a me, I scenario. We should all grow together. As we grow, everyone needs to come with me ahead. And we've had people that have been with us right from the start. And the goal is to stay together, not like I will rule the world and leave all of you behind. I don't
Yeah.
care about anybody
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
Have your kids, I mean, the younger one's too young.
Younger one's 1, yeah, she's 2 years.
The older one is?
4.
Has she come to see your office and been like, my mom's office is amazing. And all these people work for my mom.
My kids come to work all the time. They come with me to sites. They travel with me for work. They come with me
That's amazing.
everywhere.
They must be imbibing so much by
Totally,
just
yeah.
being present,
So
right?
like when she was 40 days old was when I first took her out of the house, and she was literally dumped on the conference table, and we just continued on with all our meetings. So it was like Zoom calls with like the Nestilo in the middle with the baby dumped in it. All my kids, and in my cabin there's an entire unit that's only for kids stuff. So it's all the kids' toys, seats for the kids. They are here all the time and they love it. Sophie thinks she's my older one, kind of a designer.
Her name is Sophie?
Yeah.
My daughter's name is Sophia
Really?
as well.
Yeah. Sophia. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a wonderful coincidence. I have a dog who I'm also obsessed with, who also comes to the office. So this is like a home office scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be like that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good. I'm so happy for you.
Do you take your daughter with you to work?
I'm a classical dancer. I do
Yes,
kuchipudi.
yes.
So she goes to rehearsals with me.
Oh,
She's seen
wow.
she's come to one performance because it was at 4 p.m. But usually
Okay.
performances are 7, 8.
Late.
That's her bedtime.
Yeah.
But she comes to rehearsals. I take her to dance. I haven't taken her to a shoot because then you require a silence. And she's wonderful, but she cannot stay silent.
So I had a corporate client who had come in,
Yeah.
who had a large office space, and he came in with a shrieking, crying child and a dog that was barking. And for 1 hour, I was pitching to him. At some point, the dog and my daughter have gotten into a fight, and they're like pulling, and it's just like shrieking. But in my head, I'm just like, please! Like it was such an important client pitch, and I ended it. And I just wrote it off. 2 days later, the client called me back and said, "You got the project." And I was just like, "What? Like, wait, like, how did that happen?" And he said, "You know, Sarah, like when I was growing up or when I had my kids, I wish I was able to bring them into the workspace with me." You know, he's like, "My wife had to give up her job and stay at home to take care of my kids. I was actually very proud to see you, and I want to support someone who's a working mom. So I'm with you through this process, and let's do this."
So wonderful.
I
So
love
rare.
that. No, it's actually weirdly enough, the men
No.
have been the most supportive.
Yeah.
Like women, I expected, and they've been
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But so many men,
I
like
need
totally.
to come across these men because,
Because
I
they-
haven't
yeah.
really seen this that much.
And I feel like with
Yeah.
men, you know, it's the pressure is also so great on them because they have a greater expectation of like being professional. Like
Yeah.
tomorrow, if my husband wanted to take his kids with him to work, I don't think he would be viewed the same
No,
way as
no.
me taking my
Yeah,
kids to work.
yeah.
If I'm taking my kids, it's all okay, you know?
Yeah.
So he actually was envious. That shattered a lot of preconceived notions for
Yeah.
me. I take my kids everywhere. But I know on shoots it's very difficult because even the smallest like chi will, for us it's not like
I'm
that.
just, with shoots, photo shoots is fine. I can take her for photo
Yeah,
shoots,
yeah.
but for video, anything on video, the problem is I don't want to waste everybody else's time, because then if
I
there's
totally
noise,
agree.
then you have
Yeah.
to reshoot it, and then I just feel
Yeah.
nervous about that. But otherwise, I
You-
take her
you
everywhere.
do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. But yeah, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to meet
Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
having me here.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Guys, before I sign off, I have to mention, because this season we are doing something wonderful. I was wearing my own wardrobe the past 2 seasons, mostly. This season, we're supporting upcoming amazing Indian brands. So I am wearing a dress by a brand called Nirvana. They're shop.nirvana on Instagram. And I'm wearing jewelry. This is 18 karat gold jewelry. So cute and light and beautiful to wear. The brand is Kumari Fine Jewels. And on Instagram, I believe they are, I forgot. But we will put it in the end credits. So you will find them, Kumari Jewels and Shop Nirvana with the dress. Thank you, guys. Bye.